So Sergey, let's start with our first topic.
Hello everybody, my name is Sergey Baranov. I'm Sitecore developer from Brimit. Also, I'm Sitecore technology MVP. And today I want to tell you about media search in Sitecore, compare out of the box and some other traditional solutions of this problem. And also introduce my own solution with optical character recognition support. And of course, I will show you a demo during my presentation, and we will compare all of these solutions. And before we start, let me explain what I mean by a media content search and show you, for example, one real business problem when content searching in media items is needed. And just imagine that you have a customer, for example, your customer is a bank, and as you know, bank has a lot of documents like different forms, term and conditions, agreements, etc. And all these documents can be stored in different file formats like PDF, Word, Excel sheets, etc. And the bank has a website on Sitecore. Content editors uploaded all these documents in media library, and you have a requirement to implement a search engine functionality that allows your customers or website visitors to search these documents by querying any words that these documents contains inside their content, like on my screenshot. And my today's agenda, first of all, we will check what solutions Sitecore has out of the box. Then I introduce some additional solutions that Sitecore is supporting. There are two supported solutions. First is using Adobe iFilters, and the second one is setting Apache Tika. Next, I will show you one good implementation for .NET and one very good module written by Michael Sarragot. It's a wrapper for Sitecore, wrapper for Tika.NET. And in the end, I will show you my own model that supported also optical character recognition. And of course, I will be happy to answer the questions in the end. Okay, let's begin. Let's have a look what Sitecore has out of the box to index content of media files. As you can see, in Sitecore official documentation, Sitecore Content Search IP can extract text content from media files only of two formats. First format is OpenXML. This means that you can extract content from Word, Excel, and PowerPoint files. It's not very smart. And the second one is PDF file. And for this solution, Sitecore use PDF Sharp library that is free of license. And let's have a look how it works on clear Sitecore installation. I prepare a small list of simple files. Let me show you content of these files. For example, simple Word document that contains some text, for example, deadline. Oops. And as you can see, content search can find these documents that contain corresponding. And also, for example, I can show that OpenXML is multi-language, it's nothing. And in the same query for Solar, what you can see is that you can easily find, for example, what files by content of this file. This is also good, for example, for PowerPoint presentation and Excel sheets. You can see it's easy find. But if you look, for example, to simple plain text, Sitecore does not support it out of the box. Because Sitecore only can work with OpenXML formats and PDF sharp. Okay, let's have a look for PDF. As a developer, you should know that PDF sharp is not very smart library. First of all, because it's open source. For example, text sharp, it's a little bit smarter, but have a license. PDF sharp works only with files that are programmatically created, and it doesn't contain any additional noise like compressions, watermarks, etc. Okay, let me show you content. For example, this easy PDF file I was generated programmatically. And it is searchable by Sitecore. But for example, if you have a look to this PDF file, as you can see, it has selectable text. But PDF sharp, for example, and if you have you need to implement a real solution where your search engine must to process all of PDF files. PDF sharp is not very good solution for this problem. Okay, if we compare advantages and disadvantages of Sitecore out-of-the-box solution, pros of this out-of-the-box implementation, first of all, that you don't need any other installations, implementations, you can use it as is. And disadvantages, of course, is a limited count of MIME types, and a good point that this out-of-the-box behavior for PDF sharp and OpenXML supported only in Sitecore 9.1 and higher versions. Okay, what other solutions Sitecore can suggest for us? The first solution is using Adobe iFilters. What is it? Adobe iFilter is just a native Microsoft Windows iFilter, the same filters, for example, that Microsoft Word or Excel contains for processing documents in Word or Excel formats or PowerPoint, but for example, to recognize this PDF, to make able to recognize it, we can install Adobe iFilter. It's very easy to install. It's just MSC installation file for Windows, and all that you need is that only install this file and patch your content search config in Sitecore. But not all versions of Sitecore supported Adobe PDF. First of all, let me come back to my demo. Advantages of Adobe iFilter that it's very easy to install, and after installation of Adobe iFilter, all your searchable PDF will be searchable. But disadvantages, first of all, Azure is not supported of Adobe iFilter. The second, that not all versions of Windows, and especially versions of Windows servers are supported Adobe Filter also. And of course, it doesn't contain any optical character recognition. And some people complain that Adobe iFilter is very old solution, native Microsoft solution, and has heavy computation time. The second solution that Sitecore suggests to use if you need to process PDF files, it's Apache Tika. Yeah, I don't think that someone of you has experience with Tika, so let me explain a little bit what is it. Tika is a Java-based toolkit that can extract metadata and text from a very wide format of different file types. And Tika is very configurable. But to make ability to use Apache Tika with Sitecore, you need to do a lot of installations. First of all, you must have installed Solar. And the second one, you must install Apache Tika server. And the third main problem is that responses that you retrieve from Tika has different formats for different file types, and in C# you cannot have a single generic object to process Tika responses for different file types. And it's a headache to configure it for Sitecore, even if we need only to use it for PDF formats. To be honest, I spent about 2 days just to install and configure it first time with Sitecore only for PDF. But it was a good challenge for me. But Tika is a very powerful system, and if you're interested, for example, how to extract, for example, subtitles of video, Tika is very good toolkit for these goals. I will not show how it works with Tika, because it can be a different meetup. And also, if you have a look in Sitecore guide, how to set up Tika and how to configure it, there is a lot of installations, and also you should pay attention that you can use only concrete versions of Tika, for example, 1.22, because this higher version was not testing with Sitecore. Yeah. Also, if we say about advantages and disadvantages of Apache Tika, first of all, Apache Tika process all searchable PDF, very good process, and also it can be configured for optical character recognition, but not out of the box. You can do a lot of additional work to apply it, especially with Sitecore. And disadvantages, of course, you need a lot of additional installations, and sometimes you don't have ability to do it on your production servers. And the second disadvantage is that it's really very hard to set up. But as you can see, Tika has a wrapper for .NET. And this wrapper that names Tika on .NET contains only a list of libraries that needed for working in Tika engine. And so you don't need any additional installations or installations of any service and services. You can just install Nugget package Tika on .NET and easy use it in C#. And Michael Sergey did a good job and implemented a good Sitecore wrapper for Tika on .NET. You can easily find this model on GitHub. As you can see, it was tested only on versions 8 of Sitecore, but I tested this module for Sitecore 9 and for Sitecore 10, and it works fine. And let me show you how this module works on our website. I already installed this module, but all that we need, just enable configs. Sitecore is loading. Let me just show how it looks like. It just replacing Sitecore default media item content extractor, but custom one. And all that this module did is using Tika on .NET Nugget package, push a media item to Tika on .NET and receive a text response. Okay, let me show. A medium complexity file. This one that is selectable but not searchable by default Sitecore implementation, and hard one is a scanned in PDF. It is not selectable, it's just an image. What? Sorry. Okay, while loading, let me continue. If you say about Tika on .NET, especially if you say about Sitecore Wrapper by Michael, it's very easy to install and all your PDFs are searchable. Of course, it doesn't support optical character recognition, but it was not an idea of this model. And this model, I think, was implemented just to avoid your headache with Apache Tika. And as for me, right now, Michael's solution is one of the best for media content search if you don't need optical character recognition support. And while my site is loading, let me say a little bit what is Tesseract. If we dive into Apache Tika, you can see that Apache Tika also support optical character recognition, but to do it, you need to set up Tesseract for Apache Tika. But what is Tesseract? Tesseract is the best optical character recognition engine. It's fully free and open source, and in my opinion, it is one of the best solutions in natural language processing. And if you see a brief history of this model, it was implemented by Hewlett-Packard in 1985, and in 2005, Tesseract was open sourced by Hewlett-Packard, and next it was developed by Google. And now this model has a lot of graphical interfaces, a lot of custom implementations of Wrapper for different languages, and all of this implementations are also open source and free. And we are of course interested in .NET proper, and we have a few .NET propers, and the most commonly used wrapper is Tesseract. You can just install it in Nugget and use it. Oops. Okay, Sitecore is up, and let me show how Tika on .NET wrapper by Michael for Sitecore works. Let's re-index this file. And for example, try to find conference. And as you can see, it works fine. But of course, as I said before, is not support optical character recognition. For example, if you try to find Microsoft, we didn't find. Okay, let me introduce you my wrapper for Tesseract and how it works. Let's disable Tika. And enable my Tesseract. I hope Sitecore is up much faster. But let me explain a little bit how it works. As you know, optical character recognition is an NLP problem, and if you say about NLP, we know that is machine learning based on neural networks, and to make ability to use it, we need to have any pre-trained models. And for example, we can upload pre-trained models somewhere in our solutions. As you can see, it's very small, about 4 megabytes only. But it recognizes scanned documents. Yes, conference was in document Microsoft. Yes, as you can see, it works. And besides all this, we can also easily extract text of images because it's the same. Let me show, for example, how it works with images. You see, it's Emma, I tried to call you, but signal bad. And as you can see, it's find image too. But what, for example, if we have documents like PDF not in English, for example, in Arabic or in Russian, and how we extract content of scanned PDFs in different language, non-English. It's easy to do. All that we need, all that we need is download pre-trained model for our language. And move it to our folder with pre-trained data. Okay. And in our module configuration, we need also to add new language. We need to say somehow for Sitecore how to map. I already added when I tested my demo. And let me show, for example, image in Russia. But right now we have two ways how to say Sitecore what language should we use. The first way, we can add language to our item. But in backend, we somehow need to know how to map language to item language. And the second way that we can do it, iterate over all languages in our config and find the best one by confidence level. Let me show what I mean by confidence. Now we have English version, for example, and we trigger item indexing. We will catch a breakpoint. And as you can see right now, we try to extract text context from scanned PDF in English. And you can see how it looks. It's similar to Russian letters, but of course, it's not trained. English dictionary is don't know something about Russian letters. And by using Tesseract, you also can retrieve our confidence level of your recognition. And in this example, when we try to recognize Russian text, we can get only 46% of confidence. It's very small. And as I said, we can just iterate over all our languages that we mapped in config, just to prevent to create new one. And let me show just, for example, confidence of needed language. As you can see, it's fully recognized in text, and confidence is 90%. So you can use this module that also easy to install, the same as module by Michael that uses Tika out of the box, but I did this module just to compare and try the solution, how it will work with optical character recognition. And also, as you can see, it's very easy to do it multi-languages. All that you need, just download pre-trained data for languages that you use in your solution. And of course, there are a lot of third parties. For example, one of famous is Iron Walker. It's the same code that I implemented, but let me show that. As you can see, it's not free, of course, and it works like the same way. You just create an object, pass your media item, and retrieve a text. Other third-party systems, like, for example, Microsoft Cognitive services or famous Amazon Textract that do the same things, also have a license. But with my demo, I just want to show that it's not so hard to implement something similar in few lines of code by using fully open source technologies. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, I will be glad to answer.
Yeah, unfortunately, this Teams format does not allow questions from attendees.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but I believe all attendees are available in Sitecore Slack. So I think you can ask questions directly to Sergey in Sitecore Slack, or there is a Sitecore is a group channel in Sitecore community. You can ask questions there.
You can follow me in socials. I also will deploy this module, I hope, in a week. After some improvements by performance, and you can use it and create issues in GitHub if you find any, or ask me in any socials.